How's it going? I'm Justin Slates. I'm 5'8", around 230, 240 right now. That's what I'm bearing.
Okay, and what shows have you done, bud?
I've done the Infinity, the Ironman twice. 2014 I did it, and 2015 I did it. Some other shows, like 2 shows in Redford, and I think one was in Xfinity in Redford, and one was in Lansing. And I've done the Western. I'll be blunt with you, I did horrible in that one. I looked horrible.
Okay, bud. So go ahead and tell us what you trained today and the movements and what you like about each movement.
I did chest and biceps. Chest movements, right now it's a lot of isolation. No matter what, it's actually isolation. But circuit training, different types of training with all-in-one, just chest. Like, for instance, start out with hardcore bench press, to strip set dumbbell, incline dumbbell, then circuit training with like 4 different exercises, 100 reps every set, to just 2 machines, to 2 dumbbells, dips, and it was resistance, and then like a drop set, and then just mega reps, just high reps. Just to get that inflation going like crazy, just get that.
So that was for chest, and you moved on to biceps?
Yeah, I did biceps. Biceps, I just kind of, I never worry about weight too much, but just try to focus on that tension. Definitely always try to go 90 degrees no matter what on a curl, because it's definitely going to help put so much tension in the biceps. Well, that's at least how I look at it. People do it their own way, but that's how I do it, and I've been doing it for years like that. And, I worked with the rope today. I love to do, like, the rope curls, just kind of like a hammer curl. Then I did some side hammer curls over there, and then did, what else did I do? Preacher curl, probably one of my favorite ones. It's definitely get some tension going.
Do you have like a plan of attack when you go in the gym, bud, or do you kind of feel stuff out as you go? Or
Yeah, I always go in with an idea of like how it's going to be. But what I like to do is making my workout programs, I always go in there and it's almost like a surprise, because I would never be able to tell you what I'm doing, but it's already written down. So it's just what makes it interesting. I find it so boring going into a weight room and you just already know what you're doing. Why not have a surprise?
Mm-hmm. Now, is that with weight too, or will you kind of feel out your weight inside what you like?
When it comes to weight, it's always on how I feel. I never worry about weight exactly. I mean, it's fun to go heavy, but it's also fun to get a decent weight and, just get the burn going. Why not focus on the burn versus going heavy? I don't need an ego,
How did you get into the industry, bud? What do you like about it?
How I got into it was actually like getting ready to go to college to play football. I met this guy in the gym that I was training in for ever since I was 18, on and off. And he was just big. And what he did, he gave me a DVD of Bob Ciccarello. And I was like, all right. And he was like saying, check this out, see how he trains, because this is how I like to train. You're going to train with me? I'm like, all right. And I'm like seeing him. And when I saw him, I never really looked at bodybuilders. And I'm just like looking at him like, wow, the way this guy trains, how big he is. And just for his age too, I'm just like thinking, wow. I was like, I just said, why play football? Why do that when I'm going to do this instead? I'm like, this is what I'm going to do. I love lifting weights. People can have all the hitting in the football. You know what I want to do? I want to hit some weights and just get big.
Mm-hmm. You just like that look and stuff?
Yeah. I just, playing football in high school, it's just you work up to get so big in the off season, and wow, it can just make you look so small during the season. And it's just, you're working for so much gains you get, but it's like, what's the outcome? You got to be an extreme athlete to definitely work for that type of sport. But you know what? I feel like I'm an extreme athlete in this type of sport. So, it's what fits you. And I felt like this fit me 10 times more than any other type of sport. And I'm like, why not do it? You know, it's what's best. My life has been crazy. I mean, I felt I've lived a double life compared to most people, with growing up from 6 to 10, having leukemia, dying 3 times from massive seizures, heart stopped and then recovering. And oh wow, waking up with a tube in your mouth just to get you to breathe again. I mean, it's so crazy. And you know, from chemotherapy, it caused me to have seizures. And you know, I beat cancer. You know, I've lost friends in the hospital that I only had from cancer. Obviously, when I was younger, I didn't understand it, and now to this day, it still hurts me. And now overcoming everything, you know, it's time to finish the battle with the seizures, and it's been 20 years, and I've had probably over a good 1,000, 2,000, maybe, I couldn't even tell you, lots of seizures. And
Explain to people about what. So can you explain
oh man, it's ridiculous. I can't tell you how many times I've went 6 months free, no seizures, and I used to have to beg my parents. I could never live alone. I've always had to live with my parents because I was too much of a safety risk. And I would go 6 months free, and I'd beg my parents, like, all right, I want my permit. I want to try to get a driver's license. All right, so I get it. And then, you have to wait a bit while you have that permit before you can get a license. And we'll talk about 3, possibly a month later. I'm having 3 weeks to a month later, I'm just having a seizure. And what my dad does, he takes the permit and rips it up, because right away you can't drive. And I've never been able to actually, I think I've driven a car maybe twice in my life. That's it, And it's been challenging, and what's up and coming is going to be insane too.
surgery?
Having seizures for all my life, it's finally about time that they finally figured out how everything happened. Last year in September, I got to compete in the Ironman, and then right after that, I was expecting to do the Central Comp, but I had to go to the hospital first because we had to figure out what was going on with my seizures. So I had to skip the rest of my comps that year, and they finally found the area that my seizures were coming from. And wow, it's crazy because the way they explained it, how they found it, they said that they've only seen this with 8 different people on how rare it is with my seizures. There's a part of my brain that's damaged and up and coming now, going ever since October till now. I'm just, getting ready to have brain surgery and get it out. I've been fighting with it for so long. Why don't I just keep fighting it? Fighting the seizures and beating them, and then getting my body as strong as I can to fight to become a pro bodybuilder. Why not? I just hope it inspires people, because I know if I can overcome this, somebody that wants to become a pro athlete, pro bodybuilder, they can overcome their situation too and become their pro athletes or anything they want to do. Thanks to my family, I really want to thank my guy Julian from when I went to Wayne State. He's the one that actually, I think, had the most faith in me. He's a busy guy. He has 2 kids, amazing family, and I'm just like thinking I wanted him to be here today, but you know what? He has to deal with this stuff. But he's probably the one that's looked at me before Jeff and said, dude, this guy's gonna go somewhere. And even Julian knows you. He's already knows that he's going to look at this video and see wow, And I can't wait until he sees it, because that's my guy. I don't see him as much, just like I don't see as much as you, but it seems like the true friends are never going to be right there beside you like they are. You can't see them day to day. Seems like the ones that are going to get your back more than anything is the ones that are still trying to fight for what they need to do. I definitely thank my girlfriend, Carissa Laval. She does photography too. She, out of anybody that has been with me right now, I think she supported me more than anybody, and definitely my grandparents did. But Carissa does anything and everything. She's the one I that takes care of me when I have my seizures. She's the one that's like so scared for me, but needs to be there for me. And she's willing to go all out for me when it needs to be done. And I love her to death, and I don't know what I'd do without her. No, usually when a seizure comes on, it's never when I'm training. I've never even noticed it when I'm training, because usually it's a paranoid moment. It's like you get the anxiety attack, and then I'm getting paranoid, and then it just happens. And I can't control myself. If you're to ask me questions, I can't talk to you. It's not that I don't want to. I just don't know how to talk. I can't even speak words. And
Will you remember, bud? Do you remember all that time, or sometimes not?
parts of it. Usually I remember the beginning of how it's happening, but during it, it's not easy. It's not easy to remember a lot. Definitely when I snap out of it, and I get so frustrated when people try to talk to me, because my head's killing me. I can't put sentences together. I can say maybe a few words, and all I want to do is sleep, and it's just not easy.
It's just physically exhausting.
Oh yeah, I mean, you got to think. They say it's like running 3 miles, like sprinting, and how hard it is on your brain. And this sounds bad, guys, but you're not even supposed to train for a week after. But I still try to push. I gotta apologize to my doctors. I don't listen to you, but but I still want to train.